Right. So just to clarify for everyone else's sake, this is not going to be an official Senate meeting. We're turning it into a semi-informal town hall.
So yeah, you don't have to. You can stay if you want. We're here asking us questions. So.
Do you want to? Informally.
Yeah, Lily.
It's
too many to like carry.
No, let's keep it up. Let's keep the document on so that people can see.
Yeah.
Just so that when we have updates, I can look at things and point. And let's let the CP. Yeah, you guys, by the way, what are your names? Let's start off with that.
Yeah. Feel free.
Hey, somebody needs to impeach him. And you are? Oh, shut up. We're not unfortunately going to deal with this word in, but you guys should be studying with the rest of the senators.
For sure. You might not be official, but you guys showed up tonight, so come on down.
Move on to the actual spot.
Grant, can you let me screen share? Let me screen share.
Yes, sir. Whatever you guys are doing. Matt, to start your slides and
I'll be right.
Matt, you gotta see.
Still the same.
Is it? Did you screen share yours?
I'm trying to.
Do it.
No, not that.
Let's do all
And you can share it.
Yes.
Depends if you like.
Interesting. So.
Depends if you like remembering. Depends if you like.
All right, so take it away, guys. Whenever you're on your big screen, so go for it. Hey everyone, let's start the presentation.
Yeah. Hi guys, hopefully this will be very quick, but I'm Annie, I'm a senior majoring in political science here, and I'm a part of CPE.
I'm Lane. I'm a junior majoring in political science. We're part of the older outreach committee of CPE, so our goal is to try to increase campus engagement in politics.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about hopefully getting a polling site on the river campus. So yeah, next slide, Matt, please.
So currently there's no permanent polling site on campus, and this is a problem because the University of Rochester has a very large local Rochester student body, but they're unable to engage with the local elections around us. The closest polling location is at the Saunders Medical Center, but this location was closed for the 2021 election because of vaccines, and so it's an unreliable location. There's a lack of transportation to polling sites around us, and there's also just a lack of knowledge of where the polling sites are in the local area.
Yeah, Matt. So like this is a quick map where it is, like there's our campus and then the Saunders Research Building is where you can vote, but again, that's closed for the 2021 election, but it's also just sometimes like a barrier for first years to walk there, or if they want to navigate the bus, it can be sometimes hard. So yeah, next slide.
And these struggles and these difficulties with getting to a polling site have caused us to we only had 36.9% of students voting in the 2018 election, which is pretty embarrassing statistic for such a high level institution as the University of Rochester. And that's definitely something we want to work to get up and make sure more people are engaging with our democracy.
All right. So So we think implementing a polling site on campus is the solution to all of this. So opening a permanent polling site at the University of Rochester River campus will increase student voting rates and civic engagement. So like the barriers to voting will be reduced, such as like transportation and knowledge of the election, since it will be right in the students' faces and they won't have to go drive anywhere. International students will also be able to experience this voting process, which would be amazing just for them. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I was going to ask you, taking into account that our school is more than 30% international students.
The what?
Did you take into account that data, like where you said there's only 30% people that engage politically at the school, but did you take international students into account? Because international students are 30% of the school.
Wait, wait, so what is your question? Just that
Yeah, so,
You want me to say?
Yeah.
So, yeah, his question was, since you, internationals are 30% of the school, like, did you take that into account in your statistics?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's literally just of people eligible to vote
Also,
and also registered.
it's people who work on the campus as well, because it's hard to take up the time to go out to vote, and so it's right on their campus, and their professors, and they can just.
Yeah, correct.
So is the number like based on people who just registered?
So the number is based on, it's collected by Tufts University, and they do it for all campuses across the US. But it's based on people that are eligible to vote, like and registered to vote, and just choose not to vote. So yeah, it's very much people that can vote and do vote. And then finally, community members will be able to utilize this polling site, which would just strengthen the connection between our schools and greater Rochester community, because what we're proposing is an early voting site, which means that you can vote in this area no matter what district you live in. So it's accessible to community members and students that maybe like live in Rochester but don't live in this voting district.
So we're asking you to work with us to draft and pass a resolution that establishes a permanent polling site on the river campus. And we think this legislation should include, it needs at least 100 parking spaces at the library lot to be reserved for 10 days during the time of early voting. That 100 parking spaces is a minimum set by the Monroe County Board of Elections. That's required to have a polling site. We think that shouldn't be a problem because last year, UHS reserved 200 spaces for the entire year for the construction of UHS, and that didn't really cause many problems. So we think 100 spaces for 10 days won't be a problem. And then we also request a space reserved for both the public and students to use to vote. The space must be ADA accessible and have an ample amount of power outlets. We were thinking I-zone because it's right next to the library lot, super easily accessible, lots of power outlets.
Right next to the bus stop.
Right next to the, yeah, that's great. And then we hope that the legislation will be presented to President Mangelsdorf and eventually the Monroe County Board of Elections will finalize the implementation. And this is a more long-term goal. We want a polling site on campus for the November 2022 elections, because obviously the November 2021 elections are coming up very shortly. That's
Yeah, next. So yeah, this is like the timeline of, it's definitely not like an immediate thing, but we want to get it off the ball rolling. So right now, obviously we're presenting to you guys. Then hopefully we'll draft and pass legislation, we'll give it to resolution, and give it to President Mangelsdorf to sign, just so we have a commitment to these 100 parking spaces. And then we'll apply for the polling site through the Monroe County Board of Elections, because they need a commitment from the university that we have these spaces reserved for the 10 days. And then hopefully we'll have a polling site in November 2022. So this is our idea, and we would love to have any senators that are interested in helping us draft this resolution join us. Do you have any questions?
Have any questions for distinguished guests here, senators?
Well, you said like the reserving 200 spots last year wasn't a problem in the library lot, but last year there was COVID and all sorts of things, so there were less students on campus. Do you really think that like 100 spots of library lot taken out would not negatively affect the student body in any way?
Wait, Lily, are you explaining the transportation?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so from the campus site perspective, I would just have options on other parking spots. People who park in the library lot pay for that. a hefty amount, and so you're gonna wanna give them options elsewhere. I would say we'd probably as SA need to build in a way to do a shuttle for those 10 days for those parking spots, so that would probably come out of our budget, but you probably could get it from the school, all to be determined, and decide, figure out who parks there and like who gets priority and who's not the 100. There's probably like, I would say, at least 20 or 30 open on a given day, even on like a max amount. Even like that you take into account like UHS spots, so I would say like, you're gonna like displace maybe 50 people. And like, are those 50 people coming into work all 10 days? Some of those are leaving, like, I think it's possible from like a transportation aspect, but you could see how many open spots are in the alumni lot, I think it's called, at the end of when you first come in, and then also in the completely like the long intercampus one. So I was just talking to them earlier, and I think that's more than possible to work through.
Yeah, also just to definitely, like, Blake and I definitely don't know the inner workings of SA and like everything about transportation, so this is why we're presenting to you guys so that we can overcome these barriers, but I think the idea of having a polling site is way more important. And we would love to just work through those details with you guys together. Oh, yes.
So does the parking lot have to be the one that's adjacent to the voting site, or is it possible for, say, the 100 parking spaces to be made available, like, for instance, right next to the medical center? But we have a shuttle consistently running from that location campus, because I sense, making 100 people who are paying quite a hefty amount for the likely parking lot, making them move to another location might not be as convenient as making the people park closer to the medical center, not necessarily at the medical center. And then taking, say, the silver line or have a specific charger shuttle.
Yeah, I think that ideally it should be as close to the polling site as possible, but there probably is some leeway, but probably not like a long shuttle, like keeping them at med center. Any other questions? Parking is definitely a
This is an
very
awesome idea, I just wanna say, and I'm sure that there'll be some senators, I'm sure this falls under police committees, especially transportation, so. Teresa, Willa will definitely be on that, and for sure, I'm sure they'll make this one of their top priorities going forward. Yeah, good question.
Yeah, sorry, I just have one last question. A few really questions. So I was saying like, because so we have to basically reserve the parking slots for the voters, right?
Right.
Is that well, why can't we provide shuttles for those voters instead, so that we save those 100 parking spots?
It's just a mono.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of nuance with like the actual parking, and then we figure out as we go into the process, and this is the first step. We wanna introduce this idea to you all, so that we can get the ball rolling and start to work through those possible hurdles of transportation now, as opposed to trying to cram them in, like next fall.
Something we can bring up at the Transportation Advisory Committee and just sort of start working through what the logistics would be to plan out and ahead, and where do we put people, and then I would say it's actually probably cheaper to displace people than to have a shuttle. So do we put 20 people in this lot, 20 people in this lot, 20 people in this lot, and so on? But that's what we can work out once.
I'm sure, like Lily, like you guys could always come to the campus services meeting, I'm sure you guys can work pretty closely, do you guys like?
May or may not also be on CBD, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you guys have done this, like, info and stuff?
So once you pass a resolution, officially, then it'll come to us to do.
Alright,
Yeah, and then should we just leave our emails in case any of this?
yes, that would be awesome. Here, just give them to me, awesome.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Alright, before everyone leaves, I just wanna make an announcement. Yeah, I just wanna say something. So. We're not getting everyone. You wanna do it, are you sure?
Yeah.
Alright, I just wanna give like one of my updates really quickly, so this Friday, you have a question or?
No, she was.
Okay. Alright, this Friday we have Constitution Day, we need at least 3 people to work each slot from 10:30 to 12 is the first slot, 12 to 1:30 is the second slot. This includes the new senators, if you guys are free that day. We're just tabling, giving out basically Constitution food, but we need people to do this, and it is on Friday, so I don't know if you guys are free during those times. Oh, yeah. So yeah, are you guys be free, or anyone in the gallery too, from 10:30 to 12 or 12 to 1:30? Open question. You're free?
Yeah, so is there like a sign up sheet or anything, or?
Yeah, we'll send it out. I mean, we were trying to get we didn't send it out to you guys originally, we were trying to just get senators to do it, we didn't have participation, so we'll send that out shortly, but. So the 2 times are 10:30 to 12 and 12 to 1:30.
So is that?
Would you guys ready to come on any of those times?
I don't think you do things like.
We're doing it,
No.
starting at like until we just be talking now. Awesome, we're
Honestly, no, it's like this part, right?
Yep.
There's like another class also that goes on there. It's right after, so like, might be able to when.
Like honestly, like the ones we need the most is like early or setup. So if you can do like a 10:30, we might.
I just tell you, it's like as a reference point of view. Yeah, you know, I might.
Oh, what you doing?
I know the last people.
I just want to give you like a heads up.
So this is gonna be another type of day.
Photos is like me.
Yo, new senator, are you guys free 10:30 to 12 or 12 to 1:30 on Saturday? Sorry, Friday. None of you guys?
Friday, I'm gonna work from 9 AM to 5.
That's fine.
Not making time for us. Look at that.
But I still made it to.
Zach, could you share the agenda so that we go over? Alright, so quick announcement, I don't know what this is, but we're gonna do our updates regardless. We don't care that we don't have official quorum. We're trying to get into a town hall, so although we unfortunately constitutionally cannot approve the new senators, we informally, I am sure all of us do. We hope that you'll come next week as well. And not be discouraged by this rare and unfortunate occurrence. I support all of you except Charles. Just because he messed with me so bad. Okay. But yeah. Oh man.
Alright, but before you guys get into that though, like I do need to stress that we have
3 people that have said that they can come. So we have no one to set up right now except for Geneva, and she can't stay the whole time. So, yes. Who's raising their hand?
All the way down there.
Oh,
Tomorrow, just because I have to get an essay done, but.
there, yeah, that's totally fair. Like, honestly, we just need someone to like be at the table. So it helps that up. So, yeah, 10:30 to, yeah. I'll get you guys the emails, yeah. That's fine.
Alright. We'll be calling this event to Discord. And we have the former speaker of the Senate, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You know, say that to that.
What, Lily's gonna go.
I was like, give me a hug. I haven't seen you in so.
This is too long. Guys.
Okay.
Alright.
not very old.
So, there's a lot. Yeah, I don't, I'm on the agenda. So, first up in the meeting tomorrow morning to try to sort out some data problems. New being runner and the goal with that is to figure out how do we address the staffing challenges. The primary goal of that is the stem of all the other problems. Additionally, my committee since the board is benchmarking with other schools to into their dining. And if there's a way to how we can use collaborating with local restaurants, that'll solve some of the behavior issues and our staffing issues. Maybe like a trial this year and then maybe bring them in the future. Lastly, we're working to publicize job postings. They have been publicized to an extent. I'm not quite sure which way then put out that in every single way, but we want to work with the groups that we are connected with as communication. And then Alondra and I, once I get the information, I'm meeting this Wednesday, and like student employment for dining to figure out how to publicize those, because we have to build all of our student jobs. As you can probably tell, some of the cafes on campus are mainly ones where students are able to work. There are some different law, labor union rules and laws regarding like that. But like for example, connection says that for that Starbucks, and so those are places where we could fill in the gaps with more students.
What?
Yeah, in there. People because of our staffing shortages, so we're severely understaffed with dining workers, and we will most likely have I'm gonna go 30% to 40% resign at the end of the month due to the COVID vaccine policy. We don't have specific numbers out of that, and the camp is in the training and looking at the clients, working through it, figuring out if they qualify for extension or not, but we're struggling, and it's something that's not an easy fix right now because it is a matter of getting out to part of the community. And part of it is that they're underpaid and overworked, and so they're very committed to serving our food, and I've been here for now 3 years, and the dining staff all been wonderful, so they really are committed to serving their great food. But challenging for them because and also the issue is they have to be here late in order to work. You're expecting someone to work the AM and like yes, they're policies. That's one of the families, so it's very challenging to find people who are able to work the hours, which is why our phones right now at 10. And so we're going to try to our best to find a way to advertise that and do it factually because yes, it's very efficient. It's paying so much money for your dining and the staffing shortage, but there's sort of this across the country right now. And I would say this point until we fix it, and then we'll go and look sort of priorities. What do we fill first? We probably won't open whatever is the new occupant.
Yeah.
Probably a lot to open and maybe and then we're gonna go to meet people's staffing places that have super long lines and it's really any questions related to dining specifically?
I guess I can tell you mostly like we did find out this is an option for like all kosher vegan vegetarian. I like here's a business options now. I would like pretty much need one sandwich or one else. Or not like a sandwich that I can access. Even just a few options, they don't offer. Mine. I know for me, I don't have that.
Yeah, I think also try to work with dining to see if in the fit we have more pre-made options like there are like outside. Probably great. Limited hours, and things like that. Yeah, so for very so that's where we like this consistent quick and on the go. And then also we're gonna advertise food pantry, which is accessible to all students. You don't need to prove that you need the food, you can just go and grab it, and so that is like package things, but that'll help to an extent. And then we'll get to it in a second, but I guess it's kind of to dining. I'm gonna encourage people to go eat off campus, instead of the weekend, be like, oh my gosh, the green line, that is the day of the weekend. College Town, Moses, totally better. And just like really tell people, and also if there's people like myself, I live off campus, I rarely go campus now. I try not to act, also don't want to start.
Is it possible to like make contact with some restaurants?
Yeah, so that one is something we're really looking into, I think so an example I have in the back of my head is I think a college where my sister graduated the year after she left, they put in local restaurants, specifically their restrictions on this so that's literally one thing. So that has the food is much better, because it's about the quality of the restaurant, and I'm not happy with what we're doing to benchmark this, is that staffing the same thing.
On the front, probably ladder.
Is it, are we using yours over there or like?
So this two different things. So we're right now just looking at the feasibility of, let's say, we're having two different options. One, in the meantime, we have in the past run in each year or goals or whatever as a pop-up. Having that instead of being a pop-up, be like a permanent in Soulful and things like that. And looking into it, because then it's an outside contract. It's not our time. But then in the long term, can we adjust our guidance to help here more locally, yes, we very low food in
Like pita
from or burger, common burger, or can we find a way, we're gonna look into, there are legal regulations with the dining. Can we put time behind their off campus? I don't think so.
I have a suggestion. So in summer, I remember they also used to give us tickets. They would like invite the planning, and they you can take that ticket to the Western Farm Market.
That's
And
so
then you can
big.
buy some stuff. So why don't we have some stuff for like
That's-
the restaurant?
This is something we're looking into right now, maybe just haven't had that such down straight in the past, so we're trying to get as many options as we get people their dining plan reviews other places, so we can be here, so all the concerns we love, any ideas you have, because that's one main objective of my committee right now is how do we solve the dining issue, and one option is environmental, that's not really in our jurisdiction, the other is to figure out what we are defining, do we have some sort of defining things and future have neuros as part of it, if those can be used in college time already. But what I have to look at is to the actual implementation for it. But I know in the past, as an example, for the donations to food bank, we could advertise using your client to buy some hillside to donate because of legal regulations with your meal bank happen, but you can. Does that make sense? So there are certain stipulations, and we gotta figure those out before we address how you even college time with things like that.
Has there been any discussion looking into removing the requirement of this plan? I know that's very onerous for a lot of people who live on the community plot, where I have to do like seed meal plans, it's $1,500. That seniors get exemption for no good reason, they can go on a meal plan. Just wondering if you.
Yeah, and so just for okay, you live in a house and you're able to.
Yes.
Okay, not one of the couple that has.
Correct.
I don't know that I personally dislike I commuter plan, I lived in school, like when you go out walking, but I completely follow my house. But I'll definitely. Do you have another question or comment?
Oh, yeah, so is it possible to like, maybe like
Do some of the restaurants over here.
until the.
I'll look into the feasibility of that, so.
Because a lot of students, like, for example, last night I went,
Read it. Okay. I'm buying food for myself.
I didn't get to that because.
No food, no.
And what was that, so I would pass on the concern, no food that you were able to eat, that you wanted to eat, or you were literally.
There was literally like, the Soul Bowl was closed, the We'll have only fries. And
The walk-in.
yeah, I actually have, I've actually been to the.
Maybe.
We have options to go to the other side of the bridge and like get a little from there.
No, this is, we're literally tomorrow morning bringing all of these concerns and saying, what are the goals and regulations for it? So any concerns, anything you heard, so like, just to address them, you probably have already going around, a couple of things actually happened with food. One being like there was undercooked chicken being served at the pit, that, was an issue with the distribution. So they said, normally they gave us pre-cooked chicken, and it would be for 6 minutes. They sent not pre-cooked chicken, but labeled as pre-cooked chicken, so they were thinking of the section as well. So they were undercooking by half, so honestly, it actually wasn't our dining, it was their fault, it was the way, about by now, we're checking, we're making sure, but they couldn't.
It was like definitely gone to places and like walked over there to have a sandwich, but even like hello, somewhere like all the way across the ground. So they don't have to be.
So I've been trying to get back open, because right now it's a dual issue. It's okay, we're having to go online, so we're closing our can't start those so that we can't open. But if we open them, then we need to go like it's back to work. So I'm gonna see if it's possible to say that, hey, let's add a 30-minute wait on our or a 40-minute wait.
Oh, you did this, not like.
No, or but also I know you say in house, what's physically available, you just don't have to go wait in line for like. I wait for 30 minutes. But both issues, and I think that will help a little bit because people will learn to be honest on, we'll just do it from home and that's kind of thing, my first 3 weeks, I didn't know what occasionally. And you just said, okay, can't really do for class, I don't need to pay for it, or we're gonna do it. I'll bring it back. Any more dining concerns for now? But yeah, give us any context you have. I have some friends who email me related to the specific food issues, like I got chicken in a salad bar was frozen, there's moldy bread. They had soup that all those stuff, because then we can pass on those concerns. I'd rather it come, and we're gonna perform go up, which is not ready yet. All of these related concerns, because then it's not just people get like, okay, I accept, we can actually change something about it. The last thing is we're working on our food menus. We have had feedback that every year is consistently the same. They don't like them, their food's not good, they're cross-contaminating, certain things. I've had a personal issue in the past where they like mix meat and beans, and I'm like, that's great, but beans are not only. So that's lots of diets. Okay, briefly just to go through the rest, can you just scroll a little bit, thank you. So I had a transportation advisory committee meeting this morning. Another concern, less so than the dining workers, but still a concern, is the COVID vaccine mandate. We're gonna have to have staffing for drivers resign. Because they said that they think it's about 50% right now who aren't vaccinated and want to get vaccinated, but they are on an exemption for all dining workers because of the plastic divide and masks. If you hear that or you see you're on the bus and someone is not wearing a mask, driver or a student, please report that on the transportation feedback forum, you can make it anonymous. But we want to know who they're supposed to be wearing masks. Sometimes the drivers will not wear masks when they're on the bus. That is it. So we do have a committed plan if the exemption doesn't get approved, and that involves priority shuttles. So just for perspective, the priority shuttles are. Okay, so this is my estimate. Okay, this top Hill Road for medical center, employees, making pilots, and then the blue line. We have 2 more important buses than the blue line, which shows, because the blue line is one of the most utilized. Then the orange, actually then the red line, at least the students are even maybe flip flop around, but this is what the kind of is going through, then gold and silver, and gold and green. Essentially, the bottom of the list gets cut off first, not the the amount of drivers we have in that priority list. And right now, we're down 6 drivers as of right now. And there's a general bus driver shortage. Annie was just telling me that one of the schools in the area is literally starting on something you just don't know about. So it's not just a U of R thing. So that affects our charter buses for different organizations on campus that need to go off with the bus. I think that involves athletics, but I also think those are hard to booked, but essentially we advertise it first on a sort of basis, and then we won't be able to fill up the request. We also have an equipment shortage, did a lot of maintenance this summer because we had a lot of workers. Oh, yeah. And then we're getting new buses at the end of the month to help alleviate this. I saw the design, they're cool, it doesn't do already. So we're getting new buses. How's that?
Finally,
Read my notes.
you finally match up to RIT. They
Um,
have that bus, you will.
Yeah, so we have lots of things going on, there's things like, I'm waiting on more info, I got it back, in a second, but, yeah, so the goal line, I should go over that, so eventually there has been feedback that they wanted, to adjust the hours on the weekend. Unfortunately, this isn't gonna be changed, so the goal line runs on the weekend at night for safety purposes, and students who want to campus early, just have to walk, across the bridge. For perspective, just on how much changing a bus line costs. So it's a 112,000 year increase in the goal line every 15 minutes versus every 30 minutes. Right now, the goal line runs during the weekdays, every 50 minutes and then 30 hours, and then 30 the rest. So that was just a number that I helped, I think, just add in, like, it's not just a, okay, well, let's send and we'll ship them. But I did ask relating to that, and then we all know universally as a community felt that the reason the goal line is on the weekends is so you're not walking home at night, and also it's on during the day process. So people who do work, I need to get to campus for meetings, we'll just
I have a question on that actually. So is it possible that you can maybe like reroute a bus that currently exists to replace this? Because I have heard like, so like over 50 complaints of people who, have to get to campus on the weekends for various reasons, jobs, and especially, or, jobs, athletics, me personally, just studying on campus, meetings, things like that. I know that this is probably like a really big priority for a lot of people, and I was wondering if there's like a bus that was like less taken that maybe we could reroute or something.
So also from the perspective, transportation is for the whole university.
Right.
So that means Eastman, and that means President, and that means employees. So just to be completely blunt, it's a 15-minute walk across the bridge. And if the goal line is only River Gate, so it's only upper classmen students who live right across campus. All these other lines, people in graduate housing, that it's gonna be a 40-minute walk. They're getting people who work in the outer line. They're getting people from downtown to campus for buses. So it's just on the weekends that this issue is happening. And the weekends you have more time and your schedule, so I'm gonna have to say this.
Yeah, I think the concern really is just like weather and as far as like conditions on like the sidewalks,
So,
so.
right now, the weather's good,
Yeah,
but
right.
then once weather gets bad at the end of, or beginning of next semester, the goal line does get extended. And then it changes back to normal hours after spring break. So we do recognize that the weather is an impact for students, and that it gets darker sooner, / later, lighter, later. So that is one thing, but what we wanted to stress is that this is actually normal. Last year we had different hours due to COVID. I think people got really used to those hours, but the goal line has run like this prior to last year, and there really haven't been many issues. So it's one of those important times where I can't help you, because there's just more pressing issues, and it's honestly just a by take the 15-minute walk.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, like what people have been telling me is that they're just concerned about like physically walking like on like maybe like a snow-covered, ice-covered sidewalk, especially on the bridge.
We have people who go out on ice and sidewalks, and then again, the goal line will increase when it gets stuck up. Can you scroll down a little bit? So all of that we're trying to publicize, Alondra's doing a fabulous job, but I'm slowly giving them answers a lot, and also I'm waiting for more information. The first 2 posts going out are gonna be getting LA's practice review, and then also telling people where the green line goes, because I think we were talking about at the meeting this morning, by telling people where the green line goes, you can encourage them to go off campus, and therefore they should be on it. Slowly, so, all right, any questions relating to?
So I know in years past, I guess last year was relevant, but years past, the green line stopped in paper and picture. And the green line was just public market.
Yeah, the green line, does not go to the public market, so it goes to. Like on Saturdays, it goes to Marketplace Mall on. Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, I can go.
Okay.
I got
two. Where does it mean? It goes to essentially Marketplace Mall, public market, and it's a closet and a couple others, but it's on different days of the weekend.
So in years past, I know that they stopped running the buses to the public market in November. Is that still happening? Is there a way to have that
I
change?
think so because of seasonal, the usage of the bus significantly goes down, so the cost of running it outweighs the usage. Right? Your specifics, because that would be, I think, Saturday is just public market.
No, Saturday goes.
Yeah, the public market was Saturday.
I think it's Wednesday, is it not Wednesday?
So that
Public
manager
market,
can-
I think,
Public market was Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
yeah,
Yeah, go for it.
So we'll be advertising, and I'll be learning. But we can look into that, but again, just as we're talking about, I would choose easier to change different routes. When, we look at mainly, how people are right. So the green line actually did vary, we some weekends we did not much. And so if we had 1,900 the first weekend of campus, and we were down to like 1,000. The next, so it's leveling out. So first we didn't really way more than gonna go in 5 weeks. We're primarily focusing on the meeting. We don't ask people back and asking about week ones just because they're different. But what we're trying to advertise is giving people. It's like sliding weekends, not outright being like weekends with family issues. Can be like, oh my God, like there's this big restaurant, it's small. Okay, so this is related to dining. Right, I have a meeting on Wednesday because the big store for red flags. Let's get it back up. But I love that. And so I want to get back up. That's all I have for this update, because it's not yet. We have to be, you know, the dining advisory committee, so we have certain roles we have to fill, essentially like certain needs, so, varsity athletes, vegan, vegetarian, halal, so we were also interested in being one.
So when
We're also working on that, in the agenda, submit.
Cecile.
You know, that we want to, if you have a specific why are they concerned, you want to hear about it, you know, where it's happening, because yes, they're working on it, they're consistently doing it, but we'll go address that too. That's it, guys. Ooh.
Thank you so much. Honestly, award for most proactive chair, not gonna lie. You've been doing above and beyond. Yep. Thank you, Lynn.
you are free to leave whenever you want to, and I would sincerely appreciate it.
Do you want me to click on the mock-up?
All right, folks, we have
Hey, guys.
Alondra, our secretary of elections. The super colorful and super pretty essay post that you see on Instagram. That's all her.
Andre, do you want me to click on you?
I'm very happy to announce that our advisors approved a new website project. And this a month ago, it's a sneak peek. Obviously, this will change and, we'll have content in the future, but this is a project I'm taking on this semester. And maybe by December, it's gonna take a while, but yeah. This is so great.
If you want to understand how great this is, you just open the.
It looks so great.
Right.
Second update, real short, I created a Senate meeting recap template for Instagram social media distribution. So what I'm gonna do is that I want you guys to highlight or let me know when you want to highlight like Senate meeting, so I can post it. I'll discuss about this with Sabina and Sama, but if you feel that like you really want something on the post, just let me know so I can include it, because we want to be transparent and people to know what's going on in the meeting, so.
Thank you so much.
Chris, you want to do updates?
Yes, I want you to really quick update. I'm actually updating right now. Okay, so, sorry, give me 1 second. I forgot to put this on there. I just realized.
RSVP.
Yeah, all right, raise your hand. Oh, this includes the new senators. I know you guys aren't officially senators yet, but we do have an event 3 to 4:30 this Friday. It's our kickoff event. If you guys can make it, please feel free to email Fred. I'm gonna forward you guys his email, and you're totally welcome to come, but I know this is kind of last minute, so if you can't, like, totally fine. But this is just kind of an annual event that we usually do, so we'd love if you guys could come.
Just so you know, it has good food.
There's refreshments, there will be apple ciders, there will be some.
What? Yay! What?
There will also be
The university that you can see
It's actually a good
It's like a fun
opportunity
thing.
to network with a lot of administrators, and most importantly, of course, Osama and our speaking.
Two more important things that I wish the new senators would do within the download part. So please fill all that information. Excel sheet, we need that for the essay kickoff event. So just put in, like, if you have a computer, just go to that link. And then just fill all the information. Oh, you don't have this yet?
Yeah, I'm gonna send this to you guys right after